Okay, Sony might have finally done it. The Xperia VIII is here, and for the first time in years, this doesn't feel like Sony just updated the internals and called it a day. This thing got a real redesign, a bigger camera upgrade, and somehow Sony still refused to follow everyone else. We still have front-facing speakers, a headphone jack, microSD support, and a dedicated camera shutter button in 2026. That already sounds kind of crazy, but the real question is this. Did Sony just make the ultimate phone for tech enthusiasts? Or is this still one of those phones only Xperia fans understand? Before we get into it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump into this because there's a lot to talk about. First thing I noticed is the design. Sony completely changed the camera setup on the back. Gone is that classic vertical camera strip. Now we have this square camera island, and honestly, I was not expecting Sony to change something that had become part of Xperia identity for years. Still feels clean though. Very Sony. Very minimal. And from a distance you immediately know this is not another generic flagship trying to copy everyone else. Pick this thing up and it still feels like an Xperia. Flat display, symmetrical bezels, textured sides, and actual front-facing stereo speakers. I know some people complain about bezels, but I'll take usable bezels and proper speakers over accidental touch issues any day. And yes, Sony kept the headphone jack and microSD slot alive. In a world where brands keep removing features and calling it innovation, Sony is doing the complete opposite. Now let's talk cameras because this is where things get interesting. Sony upgraded the telephoto hardware with a much bigger 48-megapixel sensor, and according to reports, it's almost 4 times larger than before. That is huge because Xperia zoom cameras always felt cool on paper but sometimes inconsistent in real use. The photos now look cleaner, zoom quality looks improved, and Sony is adding new AI camera suggestions that help frame shots and recommend settings. It feels like Sony is finally making camera tech more approachable instead of expecting every user to be a professional photographer. And if you're enjoying this breakdown so far, drop a like and subscribe because we're just getting started. Performance also looks serious this year. Snapdragon 8 Elite is powering the whole thing, paired with up to 16 gigs of RAM and storage going all the way up to 1 terabyte. Battery stays at 5,000 mAh, but Sony says you can push close to 2 days with normal use, which honestly sounds impressive considering Xperia devices already had pretty good battery life. But there are a few things that made me stop and think. Sony moved away from the old 4K display approach, and now we get a 120Hz OLED panel with lower resolution. Some people are going to love the battery gains, while others are going to miss the crazy sharp Xperia screens. Also, the price is still very Sony. Premium. Very premium. At the end of the day, this feels like the anti-flagship flagship. While everyone is chasing AI buzzwords and removing features, Sony built a phone that feels like it was made by actual tech enthusiasts. It's weird, different, and honestly that's why I like it. Hit like if you enjoyed this review, subscribe for more tech videos, and I'll see you in the next one.